Hi everyone, it's Liz Matory. I'm in DC at my mom's house, so this is a change of scenery. But I was like, I am going to do this video even though I'm not at home. I'm at my mom's house. So I brought my camcorder back and the tripod and all that stuff, and might as well make the most of it. So Thursday and Friday I'm going to be in DC for, first there was a Heritage Foundation event. See this? To the first annual forum on historically black colleges and universities. I know that that's a very controversial topic, especially for conservatives who are like, oh yeah, what's the point of HBCUs? They shouldn't have federal funding, no big deal, whatever. They're like obsolete. I don't think that. I am a proud graduate of Howard University School of Law, and my father went to Howard undergrad and College of Medicine, and I'm sort of like living proof of the importance of sort of investing in individuals who might not have had the sort of, I don't know, connection to heritage as I feel now that I've gone to actually not just an HBCU, but I went to an Ivy League school in college and then a public university in the University of Maryland for business school. So the only thing I want to really highlight about that is, well, not only that, we also connected the connection to the military and how there are very few people now still who have like that pipeline, professional pipeline through the military. And it's interesting, both universities and the military, service and military, have been really downplayed over the last, I would say, I don't know, 8 years. And the odd thing is, both of them, particularly universities, particularly HBCUs and officers, enlisted and others, have been sort of the pipeline for upward mobility for people, first generation people and people of color. And I think it's really odd that you see this sort of correlation. I don't know if it's, you know, legitimate or not, but it definitely is related to each other, that the decrease in the importance or the respect or honor or whatever you want to call it of both military service and a higher education are related to like sort of people's presumption that the capitalist system doesn't work anymore, and they're so on board socialism. So again, like, a lot of people want me to moderate my message and not talk about communism and socialism and parties don't matter, all of that. But again, you're not going to be able to address real issues if you don't, you know, speak about what's really going on. So that's that. That was all morning. It was really great. It's really cool to have people who traditionally don't go to Heritage Foundation to be there. And Kay Coles James is amazing. She, again, I want to share with you her message. You know, this is like a really relatively new journey for me to be a very outspoken black conservative. I grew up again as a DC native, very liberal, went to Sidwell, super duper liberal, oh, well, that was my light, I forgot to charge it, but I guess there's enough light. Anywho, moving on. I went to Sidwell, liberal, never progressive, but all of a sudden I'm now conservative. And I know a lot of people are like, I saw actually a couple of my former, like Paul Braithwaite, who is one of the big like Democrat operatives, who actually got me the gig to work in Charlotte for the 2012 DNC convention. And to see him again on this side of things, they all know why I left the Democratic Party. And it's almost as if they don't want to admit their faults, and they don't mind being on the sinking ship that is the Democratic Party because they've made their millions with them. And whether it was Valerie Irvin, Donna Edwards, Kamala Harris, Tulsi Gabbard, all of these women, people who happen to be women of color, got zero support from the party when they sort of went up a notch. And I also was able to talk to one of my other friends, you know, again, DC, Maryland, politics, kind of a small world once you get a certain point. And you know, a lot of people are like, why would any Republican run in a deep blue area? And when you live in deep blue areas and you see how the sausage is made, and you sort of know that there's no other solution but to turn back to your principles and to go back to your heritage, which is so powerful, it's undeniable. And you know that more and more people know the truth and getting to know the truth, that you have to stand in that gap so that others will feel safe to cross. And I'm in between images, I know. I feel either like I'm not necessarily a bridge, but I literally feel like I'm a human being who's like stretching themselves across this big fissure, and I'm willing to like hold on to dear life in order for people to like make their way across to like the promised land or something. I don't know, whatever they need to cross. And you know, I am willing to take that risk. I mean, I don't enjoy any of the visceral responses that I particularly get from other professional blacks, particularly. That denial is very palpable for me, because I'm second and third generation. And I know for a fact that because you have these experiences and the opportunities, my responsibility is to do things like this. And just because I have, you know, changed course, not only changed course but got back to the original course, why is there so much, what's it called? What's the word that I'm... Why is there so much rigidity? And, you know, it's been a very like volatile, like up and down experience. I don't know, I mean, I kind of, again, downplay like my heritage, because one of the reasons why I'm, you know, running in Baltimore and in Maryland, not in DC, is because like my family's like a known entity in the District of Columbia, and I sort of wanted to do my own thing, and having done my own thing, it is more challenging, but it was really cool to meet people who met my father before, and it's really cool to like, I don't know, connect to people who remember your dad and appreciate why someone like me is doing what I do, because, you know, I have the joy to be able to pay it forward. That's what we're born into. And the fact that fellow next-gen folks are the ones that don't support you, and not only that they don't support you, because other people are very supportive. Oh my gosh, I got prayed on 5 times today, which was so beautiful, and they were all women actually, who took a moment when they realized, when I told them what I was doing, they were like, I need to pray over you, God's telling me to pray over you. And it was just so humbling to be in that space, you know? And so the other analogy that I feel is like you're the tip of the spear. And another lady was like, oh my gosh, I was praying for someone to be the arrowhead. And I'm like, oh my God, I cried twice today. But I don't know, I mean, even just doing this and being able to spread a message that needs to be heard, because no one talks about these things anymore, because it's so taboo, and maybe some people have gotten too tired and exhausted. It's exhausting. I'm like, right now, I'm like, once I can this and then do another one for tomorrow, because I'm doing the March for Life tomorrow, and I know I'm going to be exhausted. So I'm going to try to do 2 today and then package them as much as I can. But all the more reason God will make a way. And if we, and I specifically, absolutely positively believe in the God of miracles, this is a miracle. Like, I know I'm a miracle because of all the different, difficulties I've had personally in my life. The fact that I'm able to get back on camera and be in a room, and regardless of my weight gain, to be able to, just be sucking it up and, just living my life and trying to do better, and feeling slightly uncomfortable, but then kind of going through that uncomfortableness and pushing through. It's a miracle for me to be able to do that still. It's a miracle for me to find my voice again. It's a miracle because I'm a survivor, like a literal, legitimate survivor. And I do not take that lightly. And yes, I need to build my hardness, but I'm not a hard person. So I do struggle with having that tough skin, because I don't want to turn out to be cold and callous. So that sort of, you're seeing this development that I didn't plan on, but more so now than ever before, God has called me to do this. Will I win? I have no idea. Would I love to win? Absolutely. But it's not for me. It's for us. And nobody else has, nothing that has happened to me has really happened to anyone else the way that it has, as blatantly public as it has. And if it has happened to other people, they usually have given up already. There's a reason why I'm like the only voice in the room sometimes, because so many people have given up. I'm sorry, I'm really tired. So when I'm really tired, I get really, like, it's just really profound. And the word glad is not the right term, because I'm not really enjoying this. It's not an enjoyable experience, but it's a necessary one, if you know what I mean. So that's the video for today. It is a lot shorter because it was a long day, and tomorrow is going to be another long day. But I'm committed to doing one a day, and that's my one for today. This lady today, I'll tell you about it in the next video, but she was like, literally, she was like, oh my gosh, I was praying for someone like you. Like, I'm sorry, that's not a normal conversation. It's really interesting to have that conversation from someone. So I'm sort of digesting that, and I'm just in awe of all of it. I don't want to squander it. I respect it. I want to make sure I do right. And even when I mess up, which I've already have messed up, and I probably will mess up again, I just want to make sure it doesn't take away from the message. But I acknowledge that I'm going through this journey, and there's a reason why this needed to happen. You know? 12 days left. If you please support, if you haven't supported yet, this is the critical time, because if you give today and tomorrow, we can actually invest in the things that we need next week. Because that's the last week before election. Ah! It's unbelievable. If you want to door knock with us, we're going out Saturday and Saturday. We also go out during the week if you have flexible schedules, but our big push is in the next 10 days. We don't go out on Sundays because I respect the Lord's Day, but we do Saturdays. Sorry, Shabbat observers. But we are doing it because we can and we want to, and I do believe we're called to do it. So thank you. Visit our website, share, subscribe. I guess, I don't know if people are subscribed to these things, but just spread the word, spread the message, pray to God, take a break, breathe. Sometimes I don't even want to talk about sometimes I have to like be reminded to breathe sometimes. I mean, obviously I breathe, but like when I was working on Christopher's campaign in 2015, the field director, I was like so stressed, right? Because I'm dealing with, you know, a high profile candidate and is, you know, in the middle of Ward 8 and Anacostia and all that stuff, you know, shots fired, like legitimately, like literally. And I'm like, oh my word, what did I sign up for? So, Carl, shout out to Carl. Carl would be like, Liz, breathe. And I'd be like, I'm breathing. No, he's like, stop, breathe. So whenever I like have these moments, I like literally can hear Carl's voice like saying, Liz, breathe. Sometimes you need a reminder or whatever. Have a great one, and I'll check you next time.